Hi, welcome back to another episode of Destruction Only. Today we're going to pull for Yunli and build her in one day. When Firefly came out, I did build her very easily on day one because I had 2,400 reserve Trailblaze fuel if I remember correctly, and a lot of Relic remains. This time, however, I only have 28 fuel things and a lot less Relic remains, and as you can see from the pulling footage, my gacha luck still remains on top as 50-50s on Destruction Only are never lost.
Are you sure about that?
But in stark contrast, my Relic luck is a lot worse. Still though, I'll be going to our planar and Relic set domains and using up all my Trailblaze fuel, which is around 2,000 in total, and all my Relic remains to try and build a good enough Yunli. After I finish building her as I've done for destruction characters before, I will go on my main account and test her out with proper supports using the support function and seeing how much damage Yunli can truly do. Tomorrow, I'll be making another video where we will test her out on all the endgame modes HSR has to offer to see where destruction only lands, and that's the game plan for today. So, like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell for more content like this in the future, and join the Expression and Discord server for a community filled with content like this. Let's get on to it. So first things first, right after getting Yunli, we're going to quickly ascend her up, get her levels up, get the standard pulls, very cool, and level up her traces. Of course, I already have everything farmed because pulling for one character archetype only is very F2P friendly. Unless you talk about account efficiency, then it really isn't. I'm going to use the Simuni Lycone on her for now, since I don't have her Gacha Lycone. I'm gonna try and pull that later with the event Jades, but honestly I don't have much hope. Now we can get to the relics, and as you can see I have some farmed already. We've got some alright pieces for now from the new Wind Soaring Valorous set. This is her best in slot in fact, with the Streetwise set coming right after. You can also use the Grand Duke set, but it's a little less efficient in my opinion. We've got the double crit helmet, and while it could have rolled better, that's the best we have right now. The double crit gloves, which rolled a lot better. We have an attack chest piece, which I really don't like. I will attempt to get a crit rate or crit damage one soon, but this will have to do for now since I do want to use her while farming. The best boot stat for Yunli is actually attack. In most accounts, you can use Huo and Tingyun with her to give her as much energy as possible, so it's alright for her to be slow since her damage comes from her normal and ultimate counter attack. So you give her attack instead of speed to see a lot bigger damage. However, the thing with Yunli is, while she heals with her skill, she is very squishy. She doesn't work very well on an account with no healers, so I'm going to be using speed on her so she can heal a lot more frequently, and since I can't use Tingyun and Huo, she'll also activate her burst a lot more frequently. Her best planar set is the Duran set, which also works with follow-up attacks. Most of the time I will be using Yunli with Clara, so the Duran set will have a lot more uptime and thus be more efficient. However, while I do have a pretty good rope, I don't have an orb. So the first thing we're gonna do is spend our Trailblaze fuel on some Duran set farming. First, let's check the build. Pretty bad. I'm going to use the team I always use in the Simuni, but I'll take down Hangout and put Yunli instead to see how much damage she can do. Of course, my mic wasn't picking up any audio, so I'm gonna have to edit down the gameplay for now just to make the video not boring. And while we do have a lot of Simuni buffs, I didn't expect an orbless, badly built Yunli to do that much damage. It seems like it'll go great. Now let's see what we get. Nothing, of course. I already knew the outcome. Anyway, I'm gonna let this audioless guy in the background that's recording and, you know, saying stuff effortlessly farm a bit more, and then I'll meet you right after this compilation. And 12 Trailblaze fuel later, we get nothing usable. Let's go to the synthesizer and see what we can get. Using self-modeling resin, then a bunch of relic remains that got a bunch of physical ores, and only one rolled decently. Of course, it's not even good. Crit damage and def isn't actually a bad combination. As I mentioned, Yunli is squishy, so giving her def or HP is a pretty good cope option. Now that we have a semi-decent orb, we can optimize our main relics. I'd love to get a better helmet, and of course a crit body, and some slightly more optimized speed boots, but enough chit-chat. Time for another short compilation. Now 16 Trailblaze fuels later, this time we got a crit damage body. Let's level it up. Pretty mid. The build is looking a lot better with that though, so I'll definitely take it. I can optimize it with crit rate later, but for a one-day build, this is going great. Now we can get on to the testing. I'm going to go to my main account after putting her in the support tab of Destruction Only. I'm gonna use her on the big old Bug Echo War with Fu Xuan, Wanmei, and Tingyun. I could use Bronya or Yukong instead of Fu Xuan, but in most normal teams, this is how you would use her, and especially because she's ultra squishy. I'm going to feed everyone some energy, put her in as a support, courtesy of my Destruction Only account of course, and then see how well she does. The first wave isn't going to go very smoothly because of the turns, and I'm not very good at this game, but we can definitely try and see some great numbers. Her skill and basic will probably do some pretty alright damage, but we're focusing on her counter and ultimate counter. So, with Tingyun's ult, we get 227k, which is pretty alright. We can also do it one more time and we'll see more damage because of the vulnerability stacks the bugs are applying, and we get 267k single target. It would have been a lot more if we had 2 more bugs, but that's fine. If we take away the buffs, we can probably like see 70-80k on Destruction Only, and possibly more from any endgame buffs. Now let's test it this time with Wanmei's ult active, which will give us 322k, and after the bugs die and apply vulnerability, we get 409k on 2 targets. That's really a really good amount of damage. If we go back to the damage testing video, Honkai did 411k. I think I would rate Yunli about the same as him maybe. They both do have some pretty unique mechanics, and especially her since you have to use her burst right before the enemy's attack to do as much damage as possible. I might rate her a bit more actually, since she can do 2 big bursts at the same time, and while she requires Tingyun and Huohuo to function easily, she doesn't require Sparkle to be much more efficient, while Danheng's best team needs Sparkle along with Tingyun and Huohuo, which are the top 3 characters you might want to use somewhere else, depending on other DPS characters you have, so possibly a 9, 9.5 out of 10, depending on how much damage we can see her do later. And finally, speaking about Eidolons, I think I might want to get E1 and E2 as well, just adding to the list of characters I want to get E2 for. I mean, I'm gonna do it for Honkai eventually, getting E2 Dill, but for now I'm just going to focus on getting any new Destruction Only characters because speculating, and this is speculation only, not leaks. I don't do leaks, trust me, I'm only speculating here. We're going to see an explosion of Destruction Only characters. Or not Destruction Only. We're gonna see an explosion of Destruction characters, and I'm going to have to get every single one of them because that's part of the rules. But anyway, there it is. Make sure to stay tuned for tomorrow or the day after, where we get to test out Yunli in Destruction Only against all of HSR's endgame modes. So, like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay tuned. Join the Express Rain Discord server, where you can find a community filled with more content just like this, and where you can also be pinged whenever I or any of the CCs there upload. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.